All right, everybody, welcome to Team Rhino Call. It's August 30th, which means that August is almost over, which is our first month since Summit, and it seems like it's been a lot longer since Summit to me. I don't know about you, Brooke.
Yeah, it seemed long to me.
Yeah, August has seemed like kind of a long month. Like a lot's been going on. It's been a cup month. People have been on cup teams, and we've been doing this activity tracking thing all month, and a lot of people have been putting in their activity tracking forms, and I'll start compiling those after tomorrow, and seeing who the points winners are, and then we'll head into September. And things, if you haven't been through a summer and then a fall with Beachbody yet, some things happen with the ups and downs of the business, and summer is usually a slow time. The kids are out of school. People are super busy. They're not necessarily interested in starting a coaching business or maybe even getting into a fitness program or something like that. Any commitments. A lot of times they already feel overcommitted as it is with the kids and the things going on during the summer. And then once the kids get back in school, sometimes they take a couple of weeks to relax, and then you start seeing near the end of September and into October and into November that things pick up a little bit before the holidays. And then the holidays, sometimes people are less likely to commit during the holidays too. And then of course January is woohoo, everybody wants to get fit time, right? So we're coming out of the slower time and hopefully into the time where people are more interested in committing to something. They've got the kids back in school, they're back in a routine, and they're ready to go. So the September health bet is a great way for people to do that. I think it's good timing, so we can get some people into the health bet. Hopefully you're getting people into that, getting them set up in the tracker so that they can track their stuff. And you've read the official rules so that you can make sure that your people know what they need to do to actually get it, instead of going through the whole 4 weeks doing something and then realizing that they didn't do one little item that they were supposed to do or something like that. So take care of your people, make sure that they're doing the right things, make sure you're doing the right things so you can get your share, and all that stuff. Okay. So what else is going on? The August challenge packs are staying on sale for September. So everything that was on sale for August is on sale for September. And I believe they're saying to the end of October, they're going to do the same. So, so for the next 2 months, we will have all of those popular challenge packs on sale, as they were in August. Any other things to mention? I think that's pretty much it. What I want to talk about today is social media do's and don'ts. I follow a lot of the coaches on this team on social media, and I don't spend a lot of time usually commenting on your stuff or liking your stuff, because most of your stuff is not for me. It's for your friends and potential customers and things like that, or it doesn't have anything to do with the business. And so I don't spend a lot of time doing that, but I do follow and see what you guys are posting. And specifically, I think if it's Beachbody related, Facebook likes to put it in my news feed because it thinks I want to see that. So one of the reasons I want to talk about social media is because I know, first of all, we've got some new coaches on the team who probably haven't been through all of the training and everything and are like, what in the world do I post on social media and how do I do this whole thing? And so I want to just give a few pointers and tips for posting on social media in a way that's going to attract people to your business and is going to, it's going to provide value to other people so that you gain trust, so that when you do talk about Beachbody, you have the trust and the ability to talk about it without being salesy. The last thing anybody on this team probably wants is to be known as a salesy Beachbody coach, one who's trying to push people into products, trying to push Beachbody, and no one wants to hear from somebody, oh, I had to block that person because all they do is post about Beachbody, right? No one wants to be that person. No one wants to hear that they are that person. And so how do you do it? How do you be a Beachbody coach, make sure people know you're a Beachbody coach, make sales as a Beachbody coach, build your Beachbody business, but not talk about Beachbody on social media? And that's not really what it's about. It's not about staying away from talking about Beachbody, but it's about posting in a way that actually provides value to other people. So the first tip I'm going to give you is, and remember, smart people take notes. Chalene Johnson says so. So if you're a smart person, you're taking notes like Brooke Brown is. So the first thing is, every time you post on social media, especially if you're thinking in terms of business. Now, I mean, if you're just posting a picture of your kids or whatever, and you're using social media for something other than business, totally understandable. Mine is definitely a mix. But the first thing is to think, what value am I providing in this post? Now, a post that says, a post of you drinking your Energize in the morning that says something like, I love this Energize stuff. There might be some value in that post, but it's not a high value post, right? It's you drinking Energize, especially if it's the 13th time you have done an Energize selfie in the last 2 months. The value of that post goes down more and more and more. The first time you do it, it makes people think, oh, he takes a pre-workout. She takes a pre-workout. That's interesting. I know that guy can do 24 pull-ups in a row with a hold at the top, and he takes that pre-workout. There's value there, some. But if 2 days later you post another selfie drinking your Energize, and 4 days later you post another selfie drinking your Energize, how much value to the person who's seeing that does that third post have? Not much. So maybe they're like 2 or 3 months apart. You talk a little bit about Energize. Maybe it's an Energize selfie or something like that. But most of the time, people already know that you drink it if you're only posting about it once a month, maybe, or something like that. Now, a better thing to maybe do is, if you want to educate people on some of the ingredients in Energize and why they help and why there's no junk in Energize or something, you could actually provide some value to people. There's all different ways to provide value to people. I just want you to think, when I post on Facebook, when I post on Instagram, what value am I providing? And there's more ways to provide value than information, right? Entertainment is most certainly value, right? If you're entertaining people, like jokes, that's why I post a whole bunch of jokes. People are entertained by them. They like the whole, Heidi and me and other people go back and forth on pun wars. And some people are like, oh, roll the eyes. Some people are entertained by it. So there's value there because they're entertained by it. There's value when you provide information that they didn't know. There's value when you provide inspiration that they didn't have before, motivation, all kinds of things. But just think, am I providing value, or am I just posting a picture of a product that I sell, right? Which is why I almost never use stock photos from Beachbody when I post, because it's really hard to provide value with a stock photo. That's like an advertisement. It's not a piece of value, okay? So the first thing is always to think, what value am I providing with my post, okay? Now, take that and think about tip number 2 is no using social media for ranting and complaining. As a business owner and someone who is trying to lead people, now whether you're leading a team or you're leading customers or both, you are trying to be a leader when you are building a business this way. People have to be attracted to you, and then you have to lead them to solutions, and then they might join your team, and you might have to lead them to lead other people to solutions, but you are trying to be a leader. And no one wants to follow someone who is a ranter and a complainer. And I always, whenever I give this talk and talk about no ranting and complaining on Facebook, I always use the example of the hashtag FML, which is F my life, which a lot of people use on Facebook, ranting about things. And sometimes it's a joke and whatever, it's fine. But a lot of times it's rant, 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 this happened. Why can't I ever get anything right? Blah, blah, blah. Hashtag FML. And the better way to post that, if you're having a hard time, because we all have hard times. I'm not saying cover up the hard times that you're having. I'm not saying don't post about when there's bad things happening in your life. I'm saying you post about it in a different way. You post about it like a leader posts about tribulation and trial. You post about it like, this bad thing happened to me. I'm leaning on my friends for help right now. I could use some help. Or this bad thing happened to me. Here's what I read in a book today that's helping me deal with it. This bad thing happened to me. I don't know what to do. Do you have any advice for me? That's how you post about bad things in your life, not blah, 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 rant, 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 my life sucks, the end. Because think about it. I've seen people actually do this, okay? Post number 1 of the day, rant, 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 my life sucks, everything's terrible, blah, blah, blah. Post number 2 of the day later in the afternoon, join my team. Join my team and live the life of your dreams, designed life, hashtag designed life. And it's like, wait a minute. Earlier in the day, your whole life sucked, and now you want me to join you. Like, I don't want to join that, right? Nobody wants to join that. Okay, so think about, so I said first, to think about if you're providing value to people in your posts. If you're ranting and complaining, you're most likely not providing value to people in your posts. But when something bad happens in your life that you do ask for advice, or you do ask for prayers, or you say, here's how I'm dealing with it, you can actually lead people and provide value even in a time like that. Okay, so you have to change your mindset about what social media is for if you're going to build a business. Now, if you don't want to build a business and you like ranting on Facebook, then you can do that. I mean, it's perfectly fine, but it's not going to attract people to you that want to join you in what you're doing and follow you in what you're doing. So think about that as you're going through your posting. So those are the 2 main tips: is provide value to people, don't rant and complain. Okay. Now, if I was to break down the social media strategy into the simplest of forms, I think Gary Vaynerchuk has done it for us with an analogy of jab, 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 right hook. Okay, so jab, 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 right hook. The analogy is the jabs are free value that you provide to your audience. The right hook is the offer. Okay, so there's 3 times at least as many jabs as there are hooks. Okay, so you're thinking, how much value can I give away? Jab. How much value can I give away? Jab. How much value can I give away? Jab. And then it's right hook, which is, do you want to join me in this? Maybe you want to join my challenge group. Maybe you want to join the health bet. It's that right hook that says, here's an offer to join me. Do you want to follow me in this thing that I'm doing? Okay, but you can't do it unless you're doing enough of the jabs, the free value. Okay, things that your audience wants to see. So, research project for you. Go look at my Instagram account right now. Not right now, but after we're done here, go look at my Instagram account. Okay, and what you're going to see is I have followed and been followed by people who like craft beer, people who like triathlon, people who have twins, and that's about it. Those are the 3 things that I have gone out and followed people on Instagram, right? If you look at my page, probably 9 out of 10 posts is either about my kids, about craft beer, or about the workouts that I'm doing with triathlon, or funny stuff that I see randomly, which is entertainment, which still works just fine. People who like beer and who have twins and who do triathlons like humor mostly too. Oh yeah, and sultry pictures of myself. No, so the idea is what you do is like I basically take pictures of my bike on every bike ride that I'm on, and I talk about the ride that I'm doing. And those pictures get 150, 175 likes on Instagram. People love it. And then yesterday or 2 days ago, a guy messages me on Instagram and says, hey, I see that you're a Beachbody coach. Your profile is super discreet though. Like you don't just blast Beachbody all over it. He's like, and you seem like you're doing well with it. So how do you do that? And he wants to know how to become a coach. So basically he told me exactly what I want for my Instagram is exactly what's happening. At least his perception of my Instagram was, I can tell you're a coach. It seems like you're doing pretty well and that you're living a pretty cool life, but you're not just blasting pictures of Energize and Shakeology and P90X3 all over your Instagram like all the other coaches. So how do you do it like that? Teach me, right? That's what I want people to come to me and say, I want to be a coach, but not because I posted every single picture about Beachbody and said, join me at the end. Okay. So just take a look at that Instagram account, and you could look at some other ones that do a really good job. Dave Ward's Instagram is all about surfing and stuff like that. And he hardly ever posts like straight up, hey, message me for details. Now you'll see about every 10th post or so, I will do something that's like, I just posted a picture that wasn't a Beachbody stock picture. It was a picture of my kids and me together. And I said, I'm doing a webinar tomorrow night. And I invited people to join me, right? And I got a couple of signups for the webinar through that, okay? So watch that Instagram account and how there is Beachbody stuff. I do talk about Beachbody. I talk about PIO. I talk about what I'm doing with my triathlon stuff. And I provide value to them either in the form of entertainment or information about a beer they might not have tried yet, information about what type of training I do, all kinds of different value. And then I give them a right hook and I say, hey, do you want to join me in this? Hey, would you like to do that? Okay. So Brooke, since you're on here, I'm going to throw you on the spot here. You do social media pretty well. So do you have any tips to go along with what I'm talking here? Like, what have you experienced along these lines?
Be yourself. You can't start changing who you are just because you're a Beachbody coach. So the main thing is if you I post wicked pictures and I'm involved in dogs. Just because I became a Beachbody coach doesn't mean I stopped posting about my normal life. My account is public. So if you really want to try to make it go, your account's got to be a public account, really. Mm-hmm. And I know people are at first uncomfortable with that because a lot of privacy issues. But my philosophy is if they really want to find it, they could find it anyways. Mm-hmm. So that's an important thing to have it public. And then if you feel like there's baby steps into posting on social media, but be yourself. Don't change who you are. So my Instagram looks right now a lot like yoga because I've been doing a lot of yoga and I do it in different places randomly, and my daughter and I do it together. And so my Instagram is growing quite rapidly from that. And then putting like where I'm at, what I'm doing. I like to take everything I do primarily from my phone. So don't think you need to go out and have to have good video equipment or anything. I've done pretty much everything I do from my phone. I make my videos from my phone. So
I think that's a good point though, that, you know, being yourself. I think it's important to realize though that you also don't have to hide Beachbody. In fact, you shouldn't hide Beachbody. It is part of you, right? Like the whole yoga thing is who you are, and you're doing yoga, and there's a yoga retreat. And so that can be your right hook, you know, is the new yoga retreat coming out, and you're going to start doing that, I assume, when it comes out, which is tomorrow, actually, that it comes out, right?
Yes, and I have a group going to go for that, and it's free with on demand. So it's free for 30 days. I actually have a little thing going to go out on Facebook tonight about it, and I have a group going, and it's going to be, we're going to take pictures in crazy spots, and we're going to make the group our own. It'll be based on the 3-day yoga retreat, but it'll be our own, and it will also introduce people to Beachbody on demand, because that's quite popular right now, and anybody can, pretty much anywhere can access it now. So I don't hide that I'm a Beachbody coach. I try to post a lot of inspirational stuff on Facebook, and that's always been a part of me. So I continue to do that. If I find a good recipe, I share it. If something good happens with Beachbody with me, I share it on social media. So everybody knows I'm a Beachbody coach, and I don't hide that. I've never posted anything like F my life. So if I started doing that now, people would think something was seriously wrong with me. Right. But I think it's important to be yourself and just take baby steps at it. And if you want, ask us, and we can go help you. If you have a page and you want it like critiqued, I think that's very useful to help each other if you're open to learning and wanting that.
Oh yeah, I would definitely do that. If anybody's like, hey, I've been posting and not getting anything on it, you know, can you take a look at my page? I would absolutely go to your page and take a look and give you some honest feedback on it. I think that the biggest issue that people run into is they try to become Beachbody advertisers when they become Beachbody coaches. And so they want to take a picture with the product and be like, drinking my Shakeology, and they want to sell product. And it doesn't work that way. You have to live a life. And then it's slow. It's a lifestyle that you're living that people are attracted to. And you're like, well, this is part of it. This is how I do it. This is part of what I do. I drink Shakeology. And it's,
and they want to see you keep doing it.
Yeah.
They want to see you keep doing it. Like a lot of people get into things and then they stop in 3 months. So people are like, oh, what are you doing? And then they stop in 3 months. And so I have a lot of people who were interested when I first started that are just now, a year and a half, almost 2 years later, going, okay, what are you doing? You've incorporated this into your lifestyle and it's working. You're doing it consistently. And so they want to see that. They want to see that you're still going to be there for them.
Mm-hmm. All right, Brooks. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, I don't post too much sell stuff, although occasionally I do, but I try not to. Be real. You'll see on my Instagram, my Facebook is full of pull-up stuff. So I'm doing pull-up crazy right now, but
there's not a lot of like, hey, I did some pull-ups, you should join me. Hey, I did some pull-ups, you should buy this. Hey, I did some pull-ups, you should drink Energize. It's just like, here's what I'm doing, here's the results I'm getting,
Right. Yeah,
and people know they can come along if they want to.
Right, and some do. I've got a lot of interest and a lot of people going, hey, man, your stuff's great. I love it. You're adding value, so keep posting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just be consistent. They can see the consistency. I want to get better at pull-ups. I'm doing them every freaking day.
Right. So I guess the thing is, I don't want to discourage people from posting Beachbody stuff, because you need to post about Beachbody. Absolutely. You're a Beachbody coach. I think you just need to just make sure you don't go into a sales or advertising mode with it. If you're doing T25 every single day, and you want to post about T25 every single day, you need to talk about the struggles you're going through with T25. You need to talk about how you couldn't get all the push-ups in today. You need to talk about how you totally killed it and it was awesome today. You need to talk about how you failed on your nutrition. You need to talk about how you nailed your nutrition. But you can't just post, did my T25 core speed today every single day. You know, like you can do that every once in a while.
Questions about it. Invite the questions about it. So it make it so that they want to comment on your stuff. So invite it and make sure, in an open way, that it's okay for them to comment or ask questions on it. Because I know I'm doing the pull-up thing with Brooks too. And people ask questions, but you have to make it open for them to ask the questions and try to phrase it, read it back to yourself. If you can read it out loud and it sounds like you, then post it. I have a lot of things that aren't exactly greatly proofread on Facebook, and sometimes I go back and think, that's dumb, but that's me also, so I don't want to change exactly who I am. I can be a bad speller, I can be bad at English, but that's me. So just be yourself.
Yeah. Good. All right. Anybody else that's on here? There's a couple more people on here. I don't see either of those people because they're not really on video, which is cool. No problem with that. But if anybody else has any thoughts before we end the night.
I think we're good. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah. All right. Good night, you guys. Hope that helps a little bit with social media. I think we might continue this in a little bit different way next week. And don't forget about the webinar tomorrow night. If you've got any coach prospects, invite them to the webinar. We're actually going to have Kent and Becky on as a couple testimonial for the business. And we'll record it, of course. But I think it's going to be really good to hear those two give their thoughts on the business and their story, as well as I'll tell a little bit about my story and then explain the business, and probably try to keep it around between 30 and 45 minutes. So get some coach prospects on there if you can.
Okay.